My name is Jim Farrell. My partner's name is Justin Smith. Unfortunately, he could not be with us today. He is a law enforcement officer, which has been a struggle for both of us, really, with my busy personal life and his work schedule. It's been a real struggle to try to get together and get these assignments done. But like I said, unfortunately, he can't be here today. He had some mandatory stuff come up, got called in. We had planned to do this video together, but here we are. For our research proposal, we chose to study ducks and their declining numbers. Our interest really stems from, obviously, if you look at my decor on the back wall, I'm an avid outdoorsman. So is Justin. Justin likes to focus more on waterfowl than I do, but I spend a tremendous amount of time myself hunting waterfowl as well. And this area, Brunswick in particular, with Darien being just north of us, there's actually a tremendous amount of opportunity for a waterfowl hunter. Huge efforts go into conservation and wetlands and stuff down here for the migrating waterfowl. But what we've noticed in the past, in recent years, what we've noticed is the numbers seem to be on the decline. When you hunt, you don't tend to see near as many ducks. And that's true of hunting areas as well as conservation areas like impoundments that can't be hunted and stuff like that. And one other thing that we've really noticed is we've struggled heavily through the winter months with warm weather. Any waterfowl hunter will tell you that we look forward to those cold mornings, the kind of mornings that get the ducks up off the water and headed south. That's just what duck hunting is to us, and it's been unseasonably warm in recent years. A lot of people attribute that to global warming. Global warming is a hot topic right now. Without a doubt, it's going on. I don't think you can argue that point, but we set out to generate a correlation between global warming and decreasing waterfowl numbers. You know, when these ducks begin their migration, it's because it starts to freeze up north and the habitat starts to go away, and they're headed to their wintering grounds in the south before they head right back up to the north when the spring comes around and the big thaw happens. So we kind of felt, knowing what we know about waterfowl, that climate change is having a big impact on their environment and the way that they migrate. Now, that being said, there's no way of telling if it's the migration that's being affected or if it is the population overall. Are we seeing less ducks because there is less ducks, or are we seeing less ducks in this region because they're migrating differently, or not migrating because they're not having to go as far? Both of those things can really create different scenarios. If we're seeing less ducks because there are less ducks, that's something that needs to be addressed. And you know, even if the migration has changed, if that's a survival tactic that waterfowl has adopted, that's something that needs to be addressed as well. We need to start to develop our area and make some major changes in the country so that these ducks can inhabit their native ranges again. So with that, we decided to do a little bit of research, and obviously, ideally, we would like to continue our research both through our hunting and through, I guess, what you would call scientific research. We're not biologists, we just have an extreme interest in the topic. But what we wound up doing was researching through U.S. Fish and Wildlife, which is a federal government agency that does studies on waterfowl populations. And what we found was there's a tremendous amount of data sets available showing duck populations, you know, increases, decreases, little reports here and there of what might be affecting the migrations and the population, but nothing really correlated with climate change. So with that, U.S. Fish and Wildlife also deals a lot with climate change. They just haven't bridge that gap into waterfowl. Typically what they deal with is, you know, like what you see on TV, go away. Like what you see on TV, I apologize, that's my dog, with, you know, polar bears and the ice caps melting and they're endangered. And ducks haven't reached that point, but there's a real danger of it reaching that point if we don't research this topic now, if we don't get the data out there and make people aware. So that's sort of where our research, our want to research the topic, that's where that stems from, and that's where we hope to go with it.